if you're wondering, what is she doing out there with a hose and a spray nozzle when clearly she's all set up with drip lines? I will tell you that this has to do with my top tip for surface sown onions. And that is to keep the top of the bed moist. Carrots too. Carrots and onions recently planted in the garden. You need to have the soil on top stay moist. So just imagine with living in a dry climate, it's that upper crust of soil in our garden beds that's going to dry out first because of evaporation, right? And that's where we put our onion and carrot seeds and anything else that's really close to the surface when we sow the seed. The danger of a seed drying out is that's when it perishes. I mean, we think about a seed in a seed package, it's dry, right? But what we're talking about is we've sort of started the process. We've put it in the ground, we've watered it, it's gotten wet, and that seed starts to swell up prior to sending out a stem and sending down roots. It just swells up a little bit. And so then if we have that seed beginning to swell up and then maybe itty bitty roots starting to come down, all of that is happening in that upper layer, because that's where we planted the seed, in that upper layer of soil. And so then if that area dries out, then those roots and that seed also dry out. And that's when, okay, so the seed has germinated and then perished because it couldn't find water to keep drinking and keep growing. So yeah, we want to keep that top layer of soil damp after we've put onions and carrots in the ground. So that is the thinking behind keeping these beds damp and spraying the top of them, even though I do have a drip line going, which will seep down. The drip line is great. It drips slowly out of one line and then it'll spread from there in sort of a pyramid, triangular shape down into the ground. So that water's going down, it's going down deep and hopefully keeping our bed nice and soaked down in the center of it. So that's why I'm spraying the top, keep the top layer damp while these onions and carrots are working to germinate and need to be able to find a drink of water.